Hi, let me guess, you're now having to work remotely in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, you're not alone. We're going to show you how we can use Archibus to get through adjusting to the remote work life. So, there's some pretty common questions circulating in this new work environment. How would I find any new work advisories or bulletins? How do I best contact my colleagues? And how do they contact me? How does my supervisor know that I'm still doing okay? And what portal would I use to report an incident, be it that I'm showing any symptoms or that I have to do a COVID-19 assessment? Well, we're going to show you how Archibus helps you by accessing the emergency workforce as part of the environmental health and safety features. This user dashboard allows me, as a typical end user, to spot any eye-catching key alerts and access some quick links. I see I do have an alert for an advisory, so let's take a look. You see, my work needs me to do a few things. I need to update my contact information. And there's a questionnaire I'd have to complete to let my work know if I borrowed any company assets. Finally, there'll be follow-up surveys that are intended to check up on my health and wellness. All right, let's update my information. This form allows me to identify my primary location. Am I remote, or am I more often found in the office? In this case, I'll update accordingly. Then I can provide additional contact methods for my colleagues to reach me and add comments as well. I can also fill in my emergency contact. So now that this part is completed, I can always come back and update it as things change. Since everyone at work is also updating the best way to reach them, when I need to reach out to one of my staff members by phone, here I can find their updated contact information. Next up on the to-do list, we have questionnaires in which we've been assigned to. I see that I do have a few that are in progress and active. The first one is to find out if I'm working remotely or if I'm working at the office. And did I borrow any assets from the office location? This allows me to select from a pre-populated list. In addition, I can also add additional items I cannot find. If I experience technical difficulties connecting to the company's servers, Archibus supports the generation of service requests. For those who have been in the office, my work needs to understand why people are choosing not to stay home. For such staff members, the survey is also collecting the time someone is showing up to work and leaving the office, allowing for decision support on any revisions to the business hours. All right, I've completed the first questionnaire. It has also been removed off my queue. Now there's a second questionnaire that is due soon. This here is a weekly follow-up, allowing me to let my supervisors be aware of my workplace satisfaction and the situation, as well as finding out if I'm still in good health. The managers can also add additional questions that they feel is important for decision support or to capture concerns, especially related to addressing and flattening the curve of COVID-19. My work also wants to support me by providing me assets that I could have forgotten to take with me or that I need it now in order to become more efficient. If I don't get to completing all the questions, I can save my progress now and come back and submit the questionnaire at a later time. Now, what if I need to report on a situation? Perhaps it's an incident related to COVID-19. Let's review some choices that we can select from the pre-populated incident list. Am I someone who has to perform the antigen test? Or do I have someone in the household I'll have to support because they are displaying symptoms? Or rather, am I in the office and I'm noticing that social distancing is not being practiced? Well, let's start with one potential scenario. I can fill in as much detail as I needed into this form. And when I'm ready, I can submit the incident. Now, what if I need to report on another possible scenario? You see, I don't have to fill in all of the form fields, only the items that have an asterisk. I can select from an employee list and describe the situation, and the location, as well as potentially identify any non-employees. We can also redline the location which is affected. And then submit this incident. With that, you can see how, as an end user, I can start through the first phase of dealing with the pandemic. Next time, we'll show you how a manager or a supervisor manages the new emergency workforce.